Andy on top of the police hood. Least favorite was laying on the morgue table in the body.
Which
painted blue, which took 3 hours.
Inverse those for me. Most favorite, her on the slab, or least favorite, police car. What was your favorite set?
To work on Buffy?
Yes. What that you saw?
The magic shop, because my husband Chris was in the Life Cereal episode. Isn't that a fun fact? Trivia. He was the guy buying the slug candle, right? The slug candle.
Come on up here.
All right, that was my favorite. Yeah.
As someone who's stuck in Atlanta, I was wondering, what is the international reception to Buffy like?
We were actually, Kristine and I were just in Paris last month, and it's really crazy. And then I was in Italy 2 weeks ago. The first time I was ever chased was in France, actually. I was in France. My character is called Alex, and I was in Nice with my with my ex-wife, who's now. But anyway, and so we were on the beach at Nice on our way to Saint-Tropez, and all of a sudden I hear like these chicks are running and screaming, "Alex, Alex!" And I'm like, "Who's this Alex kid?" And then they were chasing after me. So it's crazy. I really haven't expected it to be kind of like worldwide, and also in other planets too. Love this shit.
No, it is crazy. I mean, my daughter was too young to watch Buffy when we were making it, because she'd have been too afraid. But she loved the guy with the one eye. She still talks about him. Remember the Cyclops from the zombie issue?
Yeah.
She thought he was like the greatest guy ever.
As a human being.
Yeah. They would hang out on the curb while we weren't shooting.
That's not creepy. The one-eyed guy.
But it is crazy because she was too young to watch it when she was growing up. So the first time she saw it was in Italy with everything dubbed in German. And then the second time she watched it, everything was dubbed in Italian. And she just watched it last year for the first time in English.
And she likes it better in German.
Yeah. But I have to say that worldwide, at least in my experience, Buffy fans are just the best. They're totally cool. Totally cool. They sidle up to you on the subway and go, "I don't want to disturb you, but I love your work."
But of course, the fans in America are the best. I was expecting a bigger buzz.
That was actually the New York subway. On my way to Queens. Yeah.
Yeah, but by the way, thank you for coming. I was expecting maybe 6 people here. No, I mean, not for lack of wanting to get up. I mean, you know what I mean? Thank you for
He was up at 5.
I was up at 5 taking a run, but outside of that.
I've got a question for Miracle.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Hey.
I'm sure you've gotten this question a lot, but what was your favorite of the characters to play on Dollhouse? Because they're quite different, the characters.
Yeah. I loved Melly just because it was such an easy fit for me, and I love the way that Joss wrote her and everybody else wrote her, and I think, you know, a lot of the writers said over the 2 seasons that they loved writing for Paul and Melly, that it was just really fun. It was kind of like a break because there was so much other, way more complicated stuff, you know, things going on, and plot points and characters and just crazy episodes, and this was kind of like the one constant little, you know, relationship throughout the show. And Totmo, you know, and I'll talk about this more when he's here, but, you know, he was a total dream to work with. He was a very good friend on set and a good partner to have, and she was fun, and I loved, you know, obviously getting to flip the switch and be the sleeper doll. That was kind of amazing for me. No, I love Melly a lot. It was really comfortable, and And she was great, I thought. Yeah. I loved every second of being on set. Thank you.
Thank you. In Buffy, Joyce goes from being kind of a distant and estranged parent in season 1 and well, the first half of season 2. But once she's clued in, Joyce becomes very, very involved in Buffy's life. I was wondering your thoughts on Joyce's evolution as a character before she was so tragically taken from us in season 5.
I decided early on that, because sometimes there were things that were hard to reconcile as an actress, because Joyce could be, there were so many different sides of her. I decided early on that what you were really seeing was Joyce through the eyes of Buffy, from her point of view. And so the distance that you saw until she was clued in, to me, was a daughter, that estrangement that happens in those years where you need to separate from your mom and you need to keep her at arm's distance, and then you come around as you get older and sort of begin to realize that yes, it's your mother, but you can see her more as a human being. So because I'm not a distant mother, so you always have to sort of find your way into those things. So that's how I saw it, that you were seeing Joyce through Buffy's eyes. So thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you very much for being the fantasy that defined a nation for all of my childhood and my high school career. I wanted to ask how much, because in your Whedon shows there's a lot of campiness that goes along with the humor. How much of that is written and how much of that is the interaction between you guys on stage or while you're looking through your script?
If you're shooting anything for Joss Whedon, it's all written. There's no... maybe two things that I came up with. I mean, outside, like even the shawarma thing was said as a side at Joss's office at one point that he didn't put into his script. But he would say, he, like any predicate, anything, you would have the emotion down. He's like, I put that "the" there for a reason. Which actually, as an actor, I mean, it's the way that I love to work, because it means you have to do your homework, and there's no, you can't just say, oh, this is about what he's saying. So, which screws me up on auditions now, because I was trained that you have to say every single word perfect. And if you fuck it up, you gotta start over again. And when you're auditioning, you can't do that. You have to kind of go, you have to see it through. But my brain is like, can we start over? It's like, no, actually we can't. Well, okay, thanks.
And thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks. By the way, you shouldn't wear that blouse. It makes you look fat, is what I say to the casting director, and then all of a sudden. So, I think there was one time where there was a doll episode where I'm like, Rad Rob. That was the only thing that was ever in, but Joss did not want any, there was no ad-libbing, there was nothing like that at all.
And it was really weird because, like I said earlier, anything else you auditioned for, you had to rewrite it because it was so bad, and like words that would never come out of a human being's mouth. So it was this strange, it was really strange to have to memorize
because you didn't even feel the need to change. It all felt natural once you got to that.
And one of the things too that's great, it's when you have somebody who's that passionate, who's like, I put that A there, I put that there, I put that did there for a reason. You're like, holy shit, this guy knows what he's doing. On Criminal Minds, if we get around what we're trying to say, we're moving on. You know what I mean? And nothing, I love Criminal Minds, but yeah, obviously Buffy, the way that Joss Whedon works, it's like, he does become your god. It's like, especially when you're doing that particular thing, it's like, that he's thought this through far more than you have. So shut the fuck up, hit your line, hit your mark and say your line, and maybe get a small little welling of tears. But never let it drop. That was the thing with Joss. He'd watch Allison and Sarah, and we would have a crying scene, and he's like, yes, and because he would see it building up. And then Sarah especially, it would drop. He's like, the tears would start to drop. He's like, fuck. He never wanted to see it drop. He never wanted the climax to happen. He always wanted it to end before it climaxed, which is crazy. So because I love climaxing all the time.
No, I made the mistake once of thinking, wow, like it's really cool. People can really cry around here. I'm gonna try that. And we reshot the scene.
And you thought you did a great job.
Oh, I thought it was awesome.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.